Hello everybody and welcome to Viking Manager on Football Manager 2020. Last time I gave anyone an update, I was still at AIK in the Swedish top division. As you can see, that is no longer the case. I'm now with Torino FC, who I joined on the 30th of April 2024. Honestly, it has not been going well. So I think I played four games with them at the end of the season and didn't register a single win. Conceded 5 goals. It was a bit of a shit show. I used the same tactic I used everywhere else. We failed to score a single goal. You can see that I tried shifting the focus of supports and attacks, and I think I'm going to go back to this sort of thing. Might go there. But yeah, we didn't score. Cortez is our star player. As you can see, he's very good, 19 years old. He was 15 goals before I arrived. He was actually top of the goal scoring charts when I got here. And yeah, he didn't score the whole time. I was like, oh, he is tasty. He didn't score the whole time I was coaching him, which makes me very sad. Interesting things to note, I was taking screenshots for an end of season post, review, whatever, for Facebook, but I decided to go with video instead. So I'm going to hit the key points that I hit there. The club's vision when I joined was not this. It was similar. There was an emphasis on signing young players for the first team, selling them for a profit. Sign young players for a profit, yeah. Developed best youth system in the country, things like that. They actually wanted defensive football in the initial negotiations, and I haggled that out. At the end of the season, they came to me with this new vision, and I tried very hard to remove these two features here: sign high reputation players and sign players under the age of 20 for the future, because signing players under 20 that have a high reputation is impossible. The other part of it was that, well, unless you're signing Mbappe back in the beginning of the game. The other issue I had was these deals that you see here had all already been done. And as you see, 22 euro, 22 euro, 22 euro, 21, 22, 21, 22. And then Sean Silva, some of you who've been following this since the beginning may remember him from when I was coaching at HB. And I brought him to Viking Olavsik with me. Sorry, my cat's being very odd. But yeah, I outgrew him significantly as a player, especially towards the back end of his career when I was coaching him. But he's a man who I've worked with before, and I felt like I like him. I wanted to give him a job once he'd retired. So I've also been very busy in the outgoings. You've got Brinkon. He's a good centre back, ball player, but he's 29. You'll see, like with these ages, for the most part, there's a few younger players just because they just weren't very good, and I didn't see them developing enough to be worth it. So this is one example, 21-year-old going because he's not nothing, he's never gonna be. Other than that, then did I mean to sell him? No, I think his deal. Oh yeah, he was already out by the time I got here. Dalbert hasn't been confirmed yet, but 30 years old. It's just an age thing. Marius Wolf, he's not that good. He's very versatile, but he's not that good, and he's almost 30. Get rid of him. Gagliardini, same thing. Very good. One of our better players, but 30 years old. Wanted him gone. 28-year-old versatile left wing player, but wanted to get rid. 30-year-old, 31-year-old. Like most of these are players. The ones that are 30 or 29 are players who were in our first team wasn't good enough. At 23, I didn't think he was ever going to live up to this potential ability. But a lot of these older ones were part of the first team setup when I arrived, and I'm just cutting them for the sheer sake of lowering the age of the team. Cabral was not particularly a first team player, as you see here, with the 3 sub appearances, but he was surplus to requirements. He's not bad per se, but one of red. Coming in, so as you see, I've been very busy, spending a lot of money. We have this guy coming in as a new centre back to replace the outgoing Brian Calm. This guy coming in as a left back to replace Dalbert, 22, looks very good. Well, good enough. He has performed quite well in the league as well, so that helps. Let's have a look. I don't actually usually look at that. This guy's had a miserable season of average ratings, but he had a good season before. Tom Cross, very good box to boxer. Not as good as the player we're losing, but at 22, he has place to grow. I don't think this was one of mine. Might have been, but I don't think it was. Not bad, good prospect, I guess. Lihaji was one of mine, most definitely. He comes in on the right wing. He's replacing a player who's not as good as him. And what's his name here? It was Birdie. Yeah, I mean, Birdie has better creation, but the physicals are just superb on Lihaji, which you'd expect for a 22-year-old. Florent, I want to get to last because he's kind of my marquee signing. He was the last signing I made. Tabouni comes in to be the same on the left wing. Has had a pretty good season here. Then Florent De Silva, the last signing I made. This guy looks ridiculously good. He had a pretty good season in Super League, which admittedly is a pretty low quality league, but I think he's ready for the step up, and I think playing in the top league will really help him. So, as you might imagine, Serie A is one of the big 5 leagues in Europe. It's actually the 3rd place league, so I have jumped from 20. What? Where are you? Current position. 21st. All the way up to 3rd, which is really good. You can see that Inter have just wrestled the crown away from Juventus for the first time in a very long time, which is good. If you're not familiar with Torino, I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson on them, which I'm paying that much attention. Haven't won the major competition, first league. Haven't won the league since 1976. Haven't won the cup since 1993. Last thing they won was the 2nd division in 2001. Unless you count the under 20s and under 18s, which no one should. They did come 3rd in the Serie A around 2020. Season preview, they're expected 8th, but which was round about where they were when I came in, to be honest. So I may not last very long. Things have not gone well while I've been here. Let's take a look at AIK. We now have Patrick, how do we say that, 38-year-old in charge. He's actually a former under-21s manager, data analyst, coach, assistant manager, caretaker, and interim manager for them before he moved on to cut his teeth elsewhere, and he's come back in as their main manager. So I left you all after the group stage here. That was the last game you all were aware of. And as you can see, where was my last game? My last game, I literally left the evening before we played Eintracht, before we flew out to face them. So we had a pretty good run since I last talked to you all. We did lose to Malmo in the semi-final of the FA Cup, but that was also because coming out of this match, I knew I had to prioritise keeping my first choice 11, like my best possible 11, 100% fit and ready to play the home leg, because we had quite a job to overturn that 1-0 defeat without the help of an away goal. So I fielded a pretty weak weakened team. Very few of the players who started this match would make it into my first 11 most days. Carlson, I mentioned last time, young 18-year-old backup. Bahui, I mentioned I wanted to get rid of because he's too old. Yatupu was my second choice right winger. Holmes, a young prospect on the right wing. Gravius, second choice. Anderson, second choice. Second choice, second choice. Second choice, second choice. The only player on the team who was a first choice player was Reams in goal. We actually looked at bringing in for Torino. He's not that much better than the kids I've got at my disposal. He's just slightly different, I guess. That is a big weakness with this team at Torino is the goalkeeper position. Let's show you the squad depth. So, in the current formation, which is, I feel like, it's pretty much the best formation we can go with. Cortez is by far and away the best striker. We've got Kwame behind him. We've got Gonzalez, our best left winger, he's on his way out. Bardi is the best right winger, he's on his way out. Malgoni as our best midfielder, central midfielder, he's staying, he's only 25. I figured he was safe bet to keep. Do I have... Okay, so he's not hidden. Do I have unavailable? No? Oh, there he is. He's ranked third there, which means he's dropped off. He was one of the better two when I first got here. We got Lukic in central midfield as well, but for me, him and I'm saying a lot. Malgoni, they're very similar players. That's Malgoni is clearly the better player, but they're so similar that Lukic has to be the backup to Malgoni, not playing alongside him. Which suggests that maybe I should bring in another central midfielder, but I feel like yeah, we got Kraus coming in as a box-to-boxer, so that's always good. Add a little bit of difference in the midfield. Metello is staying, but he's not that good. I might look at replacing him. I've got enough left over in the kitty that I might be able to get in a good replacement for him. Bonfazzi is a centre-back who can apparently play right back well enough to be our second choice. I call bullshit. This kid doesn't look too bad. Probably not going to get a game when he comes back though, because he looks tasty with this technical spike right here. Looks like he could progress really nicely. He looks like absolute garbage as far as a right winger. He doesn't have the aerial presence to be a centre back. For me, he looks like garbage as a right back. Yeah, he doesn't have the technical abilities going forward. He's not enough of a threat. He's superb defensively. But if I'm at a top team, which I mean Torino are a top team, but they're in the top 5 leagues, so if I'm competing with teams like Juventus, I want my style of right back. I'm not just going to make do. Bonifazzi is our best centre back. He's very good. Luperto is apparently tied with Brian Khan as our next. He's 27, he's getting on a little bit, but no need to replace him right now. Nice all-round talent. And Talbot we already covered as an aging left back. I'm probably going to try and get rid of this guy once he comes back from loan. He's 30. Don't want him. Michelotti, he actually looks good. I wasn't paying attention because he's in the second team on loan going. So I didn't pay any particular attention to him, but he looks very nice. Hopefully he's not as good as... Let's compare them, shall we? I've already forgotten his damn name. Michelotti, was it? Yeah. So, Michelotti's better defensively, but going forwards, Salah is where I want to be. His vision, his technical, and his attacking are just straight up better. He's got better mentals, which is always useful. So Michelotti might sit on that bench though. Moving further back, see here, like goalkeeper position is very weak. Siriu is very good. His physicals have dropped off a cliff. He is 37, but he isn't retiring. Oh, there it is. Plans to retire. 25th of June. Like this, I can't keep him. Let's see. Yeah, cannot keep him. So he's gone. DeSalvo he's not bad, but he's not great. I can't pronounce that either. Yeah, not bad, not great. For young goalkeepers, they're fine. This guy's garbage. I'm hoping to get rid of him. The DeSalvo, I think I'm just going to keep on as my first choice, because that is really good potential. He has the potential to be, he's considered to be a Serie B goalkeeper right now, but potentially a Serie A goalkeeper in the future. Hopefully he progresses well. He's fairly determined, which doesn't tell you that much about his personality, really. But general lack of support for the manager. I just got here, come on. Which actually, so when I arrived at the club, before I'd even played a game, the club were eliminated from contention for the Europa League, and the press summoned me to an interview about it. Does this get that back? I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't. That bothered the shit out of me. Like, how are you blaming me for this? I just got here. I haven't played a game yet. Honestly, if I don't get fired from this position, there's also a solid chance that I end up just quitting the job like I did with Viking, because besides I don't want to be honest saying shit, but this club does not seem on an upward trajectory at 11th. Especially as they just that terrible form until it's back into the season. The morale is in the shitter, and it's really hard to pull the morale out if it didn't instantly bump out when the manager was gone. So that's a really tough challenge for me. But the board's lack of agreement over these two things, where I was trying to get rid of them. Like, I was happy with everything else. I just wanted these two things gone, and they would not let me do it. They forced me into agreeing this setup, and I was not happy. I honestly considered resigning them there. But then, let me see. Facilities. Facilities downgraded due to technological advances. The club's facilities no longer rank where they once did for the footballing world. The youth facilities have been affected by these advancements. I'm not sure. I talked to the board, and I asked them to upgrade the facilities, which you would think develop club players using the club's youth system, sign players under the age of 20 for the future, sign young players to develop for profit, develop the best youth system in the country. You would really think they wouldn't even have let the downgrading thing get to me. They would have instantly jumped on that, like, oh crap, we need to fix that. But I got this message pretty much: you haven't been with us very long, you should work with what you have for now. How am I meant to develop the best youth system in the country if you're not going to work with me? The finances are in the tank. I've still got 20 million to spend, which is frankly ludicrous. What was the last thing I was looking at? I was trying to find young midfielders under the age of 20. Goalkeepers under the age of 20, by the way, if you're interested. Best option, well, most expensive option is Inter Milan's young Diego Di Carlo, who is no better than what we've already got, so why bother? Reims, who we already know about from my time with AIK. I might still go for him though, because he hits the criteria. Let's see what we've got in the right back position real quick. That's not a good signing. And limited going forwards. He's a bit tasty. The other thing is the foreign player limit in Italy, when non-EU players are put on a premium. You can only have 2, I think, in your squad, or at least 2 per season, 2 new ones per season. He's apparently as good as or better than Mattiello. He's 20. He's better technically. How much is he going to cost me? 5 mil? Yeah, we'll try and get him for 6. They want 10. Don't like that. Let's go down to 6.25 plus the 30%. Alright, well, 20 minutes, significantly shorter than our last one, but it gives you a nice update as to where we are. If you're curious how IIK did without me, they ended up losing to Frankfurt across the 2 legs. Ooh, that's not good. We'll try 7.5, fuck it. But we're moving up in the world. If I end up leaving, these are the jobs that are currently available, so they're not going to be available. But if I do end up leaving this club, because it's going to be after the new season starts, so I'm going to have to wait a while. So I don't know why I'm showing you the screen, but it was really tempting to resign and apply for this position, because Borussia Dortmund is a top club, but I don't think I'd get the job. So that's why I didn't. Plus it would be a step down in the leagues. So I've never actually addressed like the end goal of the save, and my view is to manage a team that is considered one of like the elite in Europe right now. I mean, I could theoretically turn Torino into a top class team, but I feel like that's cheating or something. So what I'm looking at is trying to get a job at one of these clubs. Anything in here will discount? No, these are all pretty dead on, really. We want to be big enough that we're attracting attention from these teams. So I also want to win at least 2 Champions Leagues, maybe 3, which I think is the most any individual manager in the real world has right now, which is Zinedine Zidane and maybe Ancelotti. Is Ancelotti still in there? Can I have a look at him? He is. He's now up. Wow. Competitions. I don't want to bother. But yeah, so that's where we're heading. The coaching team here also is terrible. The whole back room is nothing. So I'm gonna have to overhaul that this off season too. Just to let you know where we're at, and I'll be back around about Christmas, New Year's to give you an update on how the start of the season went. Till then.